Well, I'll begin. Well, let's get this thing kicked off. And first thing I want to do is welcome you to the closing session of the 2021 CalRTA Virtual Convention and Delegate Assembly. I want to thank each of you for being here. This is very unusual because usually we don't have the ability to meet in our pajamas with a cup of coffee and still have everybody participate. It really did help that some folks who don't usually attend got to attend. It also is a blessing that you get to be in your area workshops or area caucuses where you could share your ideas with your area directors. That certainly is a big plus, because as the leadership, we need to hear from everybody, and everybody doesn't always come to a workshop and doesn't always come to a convention. So this was a very unique experience. So thank everybody for being here. I hope you found it a little worthwhile. I did. I got to hear some things that I wouldn't normally hear and see some people I wouldn't normally see. And so if you enjoyed this, or if you have suggestions, this is the important part, because the Convention Planning Committee needs your suggestions, needs your kind of evaluations. They need your advice. So please be sure and fill out those evaluation forms that you will be receiving in the email shortly. Now, I want to tell you just a minute who these people were that put this together. The Convention Planning Committee included Jim Sterling, Steve Click, Pat Seaman, Kathy Woolley, Kathy O'Leary, Ron and Sue Breyer, myself, Debbie Payne Newberry sat in and advised us, as well as Angelique Hill. And I certainly want to thank all of our benefit providers for their financial support. You saw their banner up in the lobby when you went in. I hope you took advantage of clicking on them and find out what they have to offer you. It could save you some money. Okay, at this time, I'd like to announce the results of the election from yesterday, and all those folks who will be taking part in the leadership for the coming 2 years. And that's a slide change, I believe. Or is it?
Advanced slide.
There we go. The president-elect will be Susan Dixon. The new secretary is Lorraine Martinez. Then we have a number of area directors that were elected, re-elected. In Area 2, Georgiana. In Area 4, Mary Kay Henderson and Terry Garrett's are co-directors. Area 6 gave me that mantle. Area 8, Anthony Duarte was re-elected, as was Becky Carroll in Area 10 and Lynn Chan in Area 12. Now, the folks that were elected for the nominations and elections.
Advanced slide.
The Nominations and Elections Committee. Now, we don't want you to chew on these folks. This is a brand new slate. They're going to help us with the next convention. Area 2, Chris Knox will be handling that. Area 4, Dale Costanen. Area 6, Jim Sterling. Area 8, Rosalie Nuanes. Area 10, Marcia Jones, and Area 12, Dolores Crabtree. To all those who were elected and re-elected, congratulations. And to the membership of CalRTA, these are your new leadership team for the next 2 years. They will join the rest of the people on the board of directors, I'm sure. All right. At this time, it gives me pleasure to introduce thank you very much. It gives me pleasure to announce that the LES, now for those of you who do not know, that's the Laura E. Settle Foundation. These folks donate, they're connected to 30 state colleges and universities. They award a $90,000 plus in scholarships each and every year. They have 3 different regional directors, and this year, the Southern director was open for election, and I'm proud to announce that the Southern seat representative will be Kathy Kennard for the next couple of years until they have the next election. So I think I'm correct now. I have announced all the things that I need to announce. I need to tell you that the voting, we had some glitches in the voting, the electronic voting, and I know there's some heartburn out there, but let me assure you that there will be, anytime we introduce a new technology in there, you're going to have some problems, and we did. But I want to let you know that we voted. We had a pretty good sizable window last night to vote. And then with all the problems, we held the voting open from 6:30 p.m. last night till 8 o'clock this morning for all the people that didn't get to vote. That we kept our efforts open, and we did get almost everybody having them a chance to vote. So you should know that we had some glitches, but for the most part, not for every part, but for the most part, we got them fixed. So we ask you to bear with us on that. And now it's time for me to go away and for the presenters to take my place. At this time, I want to introduce to you Pat Seaman, and she is going to talk about, she's a mistress of ceremonies, and she's going to tell us just exactly who's going to come up and what they're going to do. So Pat, get your picture on here, and I'm gone. Thank you very much.
Okay, I just want to tell you that we briefly that we'll start out with the Friends of Cal RTA Award, which is given to legislators who support our platform. We'll then go into the membership awards that Lorraine Martinez will present, and then the Ely Award, which is a communication award that will be presented by Jim Sterling. And I'm substituting for Susan Goff, presenting the Depreda Award. And then, well, let me see. Then we're going to have the installation of officers. I thought we were going to have that earlier. Anyway, whatever. And the passing of the gavel. And so please join me now in welcoming the chair of the State Government Relations Committee, Susan Dixon, who will announce the winners of the Friends of Cal RTA Awards. Susie.
Thank you, Pat. Hello, I'm honored to announce this year's winners of the Friends of Cal RTA Awards. The State Government Relations Committee, with the approval of the Cal RTA Board of Directors, makes this award to one state senator, one state assembly member, one member of the U.S. Congress, and one other non-legislative elected official each year. And here are our winners. The first winner is Assembly Member Sharon Quirk Silva. She's been a supporter of public education, CalSTRS, and all our retirees. She was actually a classroom teacher for almost 30 years at Richmond Elementary in Fullerton School District, prior to being elected in the State Assembly in 2012. She and her husband are both proud members of Cal RTA. She has spoken at numerous division meetings and shown her support for Cal RTA's retirement priorities and protecting CalSTRS. We want to thank you, Assemblywoman, and for your advocacy and your support. And she has sent us a video greeting.
Hello, I'm Assemblymember Sharon Quirk Silva, and it's my great honor to participate virtually in the Retired Teachers Association virtual event. It's a true honor to be recognized as the 2021 recipient of the award for a Friend of Cal RTA. I also want to give a special shout out to my friend from this organization, Minor Duncan, who has participated along with you for so many years. He was my former principal. I'm truly grateful for this honor and proud to continue my relationships with all of my fellow teaching colleagues. And as you know, this has been an incredibly difficult year for some of those teachers who currently teach with the online teaching and pandemic. So I want to give a shout out to them as well. As a teacher for 30 years, I know that the work that you've done in the classrooms for the many years that you taught and never really stops. We know that teachers put forward the groundwork for caring adults, responsible adults, and educated adults. And that's the job that not only you have done, but I know for many of you, you continue to do, whether it's volunteering, whether it's being involved in your communities, because that's what teachers do. We keep on serving. I've taught students over the years from kindergarten through junior high, and I know that many of my students that I taught are now working as teachers, they're working as doctors, they're working as speech therapists, lawyers, and it's so exciting to see what they do. It really takes a particular individual to take on the challenges of teaching our next generation, and I have been blessed to be part of this very distinct profession. And I may even go back to that after my time here in the assembly. But again, I want to thank you for recognizing me. I want to thank you for your service in the education world and to all of those students you taught. And thank you again for considering me.
Thank you. And our next award goes to the California official that is non-legislative, the Secretary of State, Dr. Shirley Weber. Before Dr. Weber was Secretary of State, she represented much of San Diego in the California Assembly. Before she was elected to the state legislature, she taught at San Diego University. She's always been a staunch supporter of public education and educators in our state. In her 4 terms, she authored and supported numerous bills for California public education and their educators. Thank you, Dr. Weber. Our next award goes to California Senator Scott Wilke. Senator Wilke was recently elected as the Senate Minority Leader in January. In 2019, he championed Senate Joint Resolution 3, which urges the federal government to repeal the weapon GPO. He's also authored Senate Joint Resolution 8 that urges the U.S. Congress to uphold its promise and fully fund the Individuals with Disabilities Act. As you are well aware, both of these issues have been top priorities for our CalRTA members. We want to thank you, Senator, for your tireless advocacy and being a champion for our members. And he's also sent us a video greeting.
Hi, Senator Scott Wilke here. Thank you to my friends at CalRTA for honoring me with this award. I'm honored to take part in your annual convention and to virtually accept the 2020 Friend of CalRTA Award. Thank you so much. My children and I are products of the California public school system, so I can personally attest to the value you as teachers brought to so many lives. Navigating the pandemic has been hard for everyone, but I know teachers face unique challenges. I also know that you have gone the extra mile to advocate for students and current educators, whether it's through drive-through food pantries, community food and clothing drives, or just doing what you do best, caring for students' well-being. Being a teacher is more than a profession, it's a calling. My life, frankly, has been much richer due to my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Story, who along with my parents taught me how to read, my junior high teacher, Kathy Hiller, who instilled a passion for history and government in me, and of course, James Bort, one of my high school teachers who spoke into my life during a time when I needed guidance. Without his mentorship, I'm confident I would not be here today accepting this award. I'm confident every one of you have the same positive impact on a student, whether you know it or not. So on behalf of every student and parent, thank you for your dedication and your devotion. I assure you that I will continue advocating for you to ensure that your retirement plans are funded as promised. You've kept your promise, we'll keep ours. Thank you again, and best wishes for a successful convention.
Thank you. Our final award is for a member of the U.S. Congress. It's for Representative Scott Peters, who's going to actually accept his award live today virtually. Representative Peters serves the Northern San Diego region and was first elected to Congress in 2012. He's been a supporter on education priorities, particularly regarding our work environment. He supported legislation that guarantees seniors access to the health care they need, improving Medicare coverage, and seniors' rights to age with dignity. He's been a constant supporter of the Social Security Fairness Act, to repeal the windfall elimination and the government pension offset in 2017, 2019, and currently HR 82. He's been a champion for public pensions. We have honored to have him here this morning. Representative Peters.
Thank you so much. And I'm live, but not in person yet. We hope to get to that soon. I have the great honor of representing the cities of San Diego, Coronado, and Poway in the United States House of Representatives. And I want to thank you for inviting me to join you today. I want to start off by thanking Cal RTA for recognizing me with this award. It means a lot to me to be recognized for our shared goals on retirement security and public education. And I want to thank Cal RTA for your tireless advocacy on behalf of retired teachers across California. You've been a strong partner during my time in Congress. As mentioned, I'm a proud co-sponsor of HR 82, the Social Security Fairness Act of 2021, which would help retirees by eliminating the government pension offset and the windfall elimination provision. Teachers, whether they're retired or current teachers, serve an important role in our society. As COVID reared its ugly head, our public education system quickly adapted to rapid changes. Educators across the nation embraced distance learning as best they could to help keep educating students in the midst of this awful pandemic. Congress authorized over $123 billion in education relief funds in 3 separate relief packages. Most recently, the American Rescue Plan, which provided $15 billion to support California schools, including more than $908 million to San Diego County schools. I'm further committed to making sure the federal government does its part to fully fund Title I and the IDEA Act to ensure students and teachers have the resources they need to succeed. And I share your belief that all educators have a right to retire in dignity. This includes access to affordable quality health care and a secure retirement. On my position on the House Energy and Commerce Committee, which oversees healthcare, I'm going to try to ensure that you have a strong ally in this fight. Finally, I just want to say my heart goes out to those who've lost a loved one during this difficult time and those who've made difficult sacrifices to make ends meet. I'm confident that we'll get through this and learn valuable lessons for our future together. Thank you again for the honor, and I look forward to receiving this award in person soon and seeing you all in person again soon. So be well. Thanks for all you do. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you so much. And it's such an honor to have you live. And I will see you on June 11th when we present you with this beautiful award in person. And we will be also presenting all of our winners as we schedule an in-person presentation. I'd like to thank all of our winners and the members of the Government Relations Committee and the Board of Directors for supporting the Friends of Cal RTA winners. It's now my honor to introduce our Membership Recruitment and Resource State Committee Chair, Lorraine Martinez, and our new Secretary-elect.
Good morning. Do I have slides? There we go. As Cal RTA members, we know how challenging it is to get new members. At this juncture during the morning, we honor and recognize those divisions that have worked the hardest at attracting new members and are the divisions that have grown the most in membership. The membership awards are named and are given in honor of Richard Hoffman, who was a past president of Cal RTA and who unfortunately passed away in office. Membership was a primary concern of Mr. Hoffman's, and these awards were created to honor his memory. For category A, there is no winner. For category B, 300 to 500 members is Mendocino 55, Division 55. For category C, 600 to 899 members is Solano County, Division 24. And I want to say those two divisions are Area 1, whoop, whoop. And for category D, Division 38, Stanislaus County. Congratulations to all those divisions. Next, it's my honor to present the Lenia Sparta Award. Next slide, please. Lenny was a longtime member of the State Membership Committee, and after his passing, this award was created to honor his work on behalf of Cal RTA. It goes to the division with the highest net gain in membership, and this year, the winner is Mendocino Division 55. Congratulations, Mendocino. Jim Sterling, Chair of the Communications Technology Committee, will make his presentation. Please welcome Jim.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to one of my last official acts before turning the reins over to Sue Breyer, who is our incoming Communication and Technology Chair. We've certainly been through some teachable moments with communication and technology in the past 24 hours. And that's what it's all about. I'm here to share news about this year's Ed Ely recipient. You know that effective communication means sharing a message, but that message has to be not only shared, it has to be received and understood by a target audience. It was clear to a group of frontline CalRTA communicators when they reviewed the work of the 8 nominees for this year's award that we're making some real progress in that area. I'd like to share with you the other members of the evaluation committee, and that was Sue Breyer of Division 33 in Area 9, Sylvia Hill, Division 12 in Area 7, Donna Clark, Division 27 in Area 1, and Marilyn Smith, who is a CTC specialist for Division and is in Division 43 in Area 9. When we talk about communications, I have a question for you. Do you still share your morning newspaper over that cup of coffee? Question. Can you swat a fly with that newspaper? Communications have changed a lot, and they likely go far beyond anything that Ed Ely could have anticipated when it came to outreach and sharing information. Next slide. When Ed Ely launched the Cal Stirs Watch, which is now called the Teacher Tools newsletter, it was circulated via fax machine. Next slide. You know that communication has changed indeed, and from fax, which was high tech in its day, to something that is far, far different. This year's Ed Ely Award recipient was very aware of that and was well versed in both communication basics and technology. The nomination form said that she was a tireless advocate of using modern technology to inform, educate, recruit, entertain members and prospective members. That sounds bang on target. It sounds to me like a teacher in a classroom. She's using Facebook with dramatic effect, not only creating and launching a division Facebook page, but also encouraging folks to join that page and showing them how it can be done, and training not only the people that are going to be viewing the page, but also setting up additional site administrators in her division. So there's somebody there to look after it. She enhanced the use of postcards, revising a membership application, and she prepared a great outreach message. I'm still teaching. Why would I want to join an association of retired teachers? Next slide. She put this out there to have active teachers today thinking about, well, I'm still in the classroom. Why should I be joining a retired teachers group? Next slide. She used videos and Zoom to both use effectively at the time of virtual meetings, and she used Zoom to the fullest extent, using the slide sharing of it as an educational tool. Her division's meetings were also targeted, who prepared slideshows that ran just prior to division gatherings, and they could also be used as standalones. Next slide, please. The division newsletter became a remarkably effective avenue for promoting these communication vehicles. This year's recipient is also known outside of CalRTA circles for her devotion to community groups, and thus is seen as an example of the role played by many CalRTA members in our communities. After 40 years, she joined CalRTA in 2017. That's 40 years of teaching. She joined CalRTA in 2017. She serves as a division, as a communication committee member and a Facebook administrator, and she's going to be their new division web manager. Technology is coming to the fore. Please join me in congratulating the 2020 Ed Ealing recipient. Next slide. Chris Grazer from Sacramento Northeast Division 75 in Area 3. In addition, we'd like to recognize this year's other nominees. Next slide. Helen Smith, Area 9. Will Ward Krause in Division 25, Area 9. Sue Breyer, Division 33, Area 9. Ed Tepaz, Division 55, Area 2. Sylvia Malesko, Division 19 in Area 7. Mary Dixon, Division 7 in Area 5. And Judy Dolan in Division 63 of Area 11. Next slide. Ed Ely would indeed be proud. Next slide. CalRTA is proud of these volunteers and their efforts. Next slide. Never before have our communication efforts been more important to CalRTA than they are today. Now I'd like to turn things over to Pat Seaman, who is subbing for Susan Goff in the presentation of this year's Ruth Depreda Award. Thank you.
Next slide. Okay, the Ruth.
I was told not to do it yet.
Oh, okay. Ruth Q. Depreda Award is presented annually to a CalRTA member who has shown exceptional service to the association. The intent of the award is to give recognition to a member who has not served as a state elective officer and is not currently serving as an area director. I will say, being on the committee, the nominees for this award were all really outstanding, and here is the list of them. I was really amazed. However, we came up with an award winner, and that is Jay Kloppenstein of Division 45 in North San Diego County. I want to tell you just a bit about him. He grew up in Iowa, and at 11 years old, his father rented a nearby farm of 80 acres and told him that was his 4-H project for the next 6 years. That awarded him an opportunity for financial and life science lessons. He went on to become a teacher and a financial investment insurance advisor. He had 7 National Science Foundation grants, and he has a personal financial planning credential. He, in 1998 to 21, he was an Apple Distinguished Educator. And he was also the Cox Communication Top 10 Teacher Award finalist. He was a community college instructor that went to the Great Barrier Reef and the Raintree Forest and Outback Field Study and summer courses in Cairns, Australia. 10 years, he's been the president of the Carlsbad Community Gardens Collaborative. He's been co-chair of the Carlsbad Chamber of Commerce Green Task Force. He's on the Sustainability Committee and a board member of Clean Earth for Kids, North Climate Change Alliance in San Diego, and Energy District for Solano Beach Echo Rotary. For 15 years, he has attended our CalRTA state conventions, and 3 years he was on the state insurance chairperson. He is also an Apple Distinguished Educator and at UC San Diego, an adjunct professor of computer education and environmental studies. beyond that, he has for 3 years been the vice president of CalRTA Educational Foundation. It gives me great pleasure to produce to Jay Klopfenstein the Ruth Depreda Award for 2021. And now it's back to Mahoney.
There we go. Wow. Wow. Congratulations, Jay, and to all the other winners. It was, wow, what a ride. Wow. At this time, I'm going to make it official. I'm your president for the next 3 minutes. And it's okay because I'm happy to welcome in the brand new leadership team for the next 2 years. So it's my turn. Wow, what a ride. For the past 12 years, I've had the privilege to serve this organization in a lot of different positions. And for the past 2, it has been the highest of honors to serve as this association's president and chair of the board of directors. Now, during this time, I've learned a lot about this organization, how it functions. I learned more than I ever thought possible. I learned a ton. But what I really learned more about was you, the members of CalRTA. You're an astonishing group of people. You sit around and think about it. You are really an astonishing group of folks. You're dedicated to your fellow retirees and the quality of their lives. Excuse me. You exhibit, the group of you exhibit an undying commitment to preserving the education of California's children and young adults. You want to know what else? You spend time, your money, and your resources to ensure the health and well-being of those who serve and those who have served the children of this state. And that's, you should be more than congratulated for that. It's fantastic. And you do this all voluntarily. That's because it comes from here. Doesn't come from money, doesn't come from groups, it doesn't come from here. You have this overwhelming desire to serve. These acts clearly illustrate your character, your values, your allegiance to our past, our present, and our future. And I will be forever grateful that I had the privilege of playing a very, very small part in that timeline. I want to thank you for allowing me that great opportunity. Now, as I depart this position to serve in other capacities, I want to recognize our staff, Johanna Hobbs and Sherry Arnold. Many of you never have the opportunity to meet these folks, meet them, talk with them, interact. But these 2 staff members are always there. They support your efforts and they will answer your requests. They are there for you. They are truly devoted and they help hold the association together. Appreciate them. And when I began as president, I quickly learned that our CEO, Angelique Hill, she answers questions all the time. She works from sunup to sundown, literally. Last night, she was up till about almost midnight, trying to make sure that everybody got a voice in this election. She works. And I asked her, I said, how can you cope with all these retired crazy people that call you anytime for anything and demand answers? It wasn't until 2 weeks later that I learned about that I was one of those crazy people. Well, for the last 2 years, she's been my most valuable resource and confidant. And I'm a much better person because of her counsel. And I want to thank her publicly. Thank you, Angelique, for all the things you've done for me and for the unseen things that you do for this association every single day. Well, very few people, there are the committee chairs, and I'm sure the board understand the other people who work behind the scenes. I'm talking about Debbie Pate-Newberry, who is our communications director. I'm talking about Jennifer Baker and David Walrath, who work on legislative. There are legislative advocates. They are constantly contributing in the background. And you are better because they're all advising the board, giving information, and helping us advocate for you in a much better fashion. They are devoted to our mission and to you as our members. My advice to all our members is to value this staff and the knowledge they have to pass along. And now, let's go on to the future. Enough about last year and this year. We're going to go on to the future. I'm going to call the names. You see the names there. These are the new area directors. We already know that Susie Dixon is new president-elect. Lorraine Martinez is the new secretary, and John Guerra, he's the treasurer. But these are the area directors that are going to step in and work for the next 2 years with the other members of the board of directors on your behalf. And you have also seen the people that are responsible for nomination elections. These people, wow, these people are hard workers. Let me tell you about that. So here is the installation. First, to all the members of CalRTA, you have made your decision. You made that decision about the future of our association. You've expressed your belief in the next generation of CalRTA leadership. You've conferred on them your faith in their ability to soundly govern this organization. The members that you elected for the nomination election committee are selfless members who work very hard in the background at convention time. They do a heck of a job to try and get everybody's voice heard. And it takes a lot of time. They attempt to gather names of delegates from our governing assembly. Now, getting the names of division officers is like trying to catch deer with a butterfly net. You never know which way you're going, but they work their buns off to try and get everybody's name in the right box. This year, problems, but we worked on it. These volunteers perform a great service with very little recognition. To them, I tell you, well done. Now, to all the newly elected area directors, you have been entrusted by the members in your area to perform not only one task, but a second area of responsibility as well. First, you will guide your area and support your divisions. But in addition, your duty is to be ever mindful about how to preserve this association. Your time on this board is temporary, but this association was built to protect current and future generations of teachers. Area directors, you serve both the past, present, and future. And finally, to Ron, Susie, John, and Lorraine, you have been elected by the membership of CalRTA. Your charge is greater. You enjoy a special place within our organization. As a state officer, you don't represent a division or an area. You are elected by the entire state membership. Your primary duty is the preservation of the association. Along with the other members of the board, you will make decisions that affect the lives of not only our members, but of more than 275,000 plus retired educators throughout this state and many other states across the nation. That's right, CalSTRS retirees are all over the place, all over the nation. Lastly, to the members of CalRTA, together for the next 2 years, these new officers and the entire board will chart our course and protect the quality of our lives. They need your support. You need to trust that their decisions are made with thoughtful consideration of what is best for our association. And now for all those newly elected officers, here is your charge. And now I charge you and ask each of you now, are you willing to accept the charge of preserving the association and agree to your fiduciary duties of care, loyalty, and obedience to our organization? If so, please respond, I do. So
I
say
do.
you all.
I do.
I do.
Members of CalRTA, it is my great honor to present to you your newly elected and now installed 2021 to 2023 Association Board of Directors members. Let that installation be recorded in our association archives as the date they assumed their obligations. Congratulations to all our new members. And now, let's hear from our brand new state president, Rod Breyer. Come on. I need to
Well,
present.
there's something that's kind of been left out, Jim. You
Really?
Yeah, you
What?
installed yourself. Okay.
I can't do that.
Well, I know.
okay.
So why don't we just take it? We'll just do it right now. So now I get to be president. So now I'll install you. How's that?
Well, you are the president. Okay.
Right. Okay. The division presidents of Area 6 have elected you to serve as area director for Area 6 and as a member of the CalRTA Board of Directors. They've empowered you to make decisions and take actions that will improve the quality of their members' lives and to protect their financial security. I ask you now, are you willing to accept this charge and the fiduciary duties of care, loyalty, and obedience to our association? If so, say, I do.
I absolutely do.
Good. Got the personal touch here.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Congratulations. You are hereby installed as the new area director. By the way, you should probably assume that your duties will begin forthwith. No pressure, right?
No pressure.
Right. Okay. Welcome to the Board of Directors.
Thank you. And now, as the president, I have the gavel. No, I'm an area director now. I'm going to pass the gavel. Okay, you ready? Here we go.
Yep.
Ron, go get it.
Yep.
There
We
you
got
go.
it.
Okay, Ron's got
Hey.
it. Ron's got the gavel.
We practiced for this. We really did. We've got this down.
We got this down. All right. All right.
Okay. So Jim, you've had a few words. What? You want me to say a couple things now?
I had a few words and I thanked everybody, and now it's your turn.
Okay, well, Jim is almost 100% correct in saying that that all of our officers were elected by the membership. Well, as you know, I wasn't. Due to the untimely death of Rich Gibson last summer, we had a crisis in CalRTA. We didn't have anybody coming in to be a president. And so the board elected me by one vote to be the next president-elect. And I take this office very, very seriously. And for those of you who don't know who I am and didn't ever get a chance to vote for me, I'm going to do my best to make sure that everything goes well, that my appointment or that my election will serve CalRTA in the manner in which it should be served. Okay, I'll need some help. Okay, but I'm a little bit awed right now about jumping into this after 5.5 months of getting ready for it instead of 2 years. But that's past history now. Now it's time to move forward. So thank you, and I will appreciate your confidence, and I will do my best to make sure that your confidence is deserved. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, President Ron. You'll be seeing a lot more of him around. He'll be available to for contacted questions.
Right.
At this time, I'm going to mention just a little tidbit. You know, when these conventions get planned, you know, sometimes they all go. We never know what's going to happen, especially this year. Well, Pat Seaman and I had a few conversations. She was very optimistic. She said, we could have up, that's 600 people coming to this convention. I said, well, in any given year, we have anywhere between 300 and 350 people. And, I'm not so sure that that's going to happen. Well, let me tell you, the registration report, I have it here. The report says we had 509 members pre-register for this conference. And we had a lot of folks that showed up for all of the different breakout sessions and the comment sessions and the delegate assembly. That was a very, very good rate of participation. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce a colleague of mine, Mr. Chuck Denon. He is the area director for Area 3. Come on, Chuck, there you go. And it's up to you. Take it away, Chuck.
Well, I'm area director for the greater Sacramento area. And I'm got a task to perform in the next minute or two. But before I do that, I'd like to take a moment of personal privilege. First of all, if you were to look at the Area 3 report for the month of May, there's a page called Curtain Call. And there's a stock photo of people taking a curtain call. And I want to read the final line. For his extraordinary effort during difficult times, we stand to applaud the efforts of President Jim Mahoney and those around him who helped us move forward through the pandemic and emerged with a renewed desire to help Cal RTA grow and succeed. I don't want to steal anybody else's thunder, but the people of Area 3 are very appreciative that Jim ran our association without ever having a live convention. Second part of my moment of personal privilege is 7 years ago, I was elected as a director for Area 3, and there were several new people in that class of directors. One was Rich Benitez, and he became a really good friend. And unfortunately, Rich passed away. And the other was a coach from the desert areas of California, and he and I have become close associates on behalf of moving Cal RTA forward. I am so pleased on behalf of everyone in Area 3 to welcome Ron Breyer as our president, as he is today. Okay, why am I online? 2 years ago, I made a speech. I told you about the sunshine that rains in Sacramento, usually in the month of May. And I told you about the Railroad Museum and the hills of the Black in the areas around us in El Dorado County and Placer County, and the American River and Sacramento River areas of Yolo and Stockton area, because you get to come here next year. Cross your fingers, pray, do whatever you think you can do to put positive energy out there so that you can come to Sacramento, California for the next convention. The governor and the president now state that those of us who've been vaccinated don't have to walk around with those darn masks anymore. So let's have our hope alive that next year we won't have to do this on screen. We can do it face to face. And whether it be for coffee, tea, or something a little harder, we'll all celebrate being back together. Cal RTA reigns supreme. Thank you. Welcome to Sacramento next year. Ron, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Chuck. I do have some of the questions here, and I'm just going to go read them up. Some of them aren't questions, they're announcements, okay? All right, from Sue Breyer, it says the evaluation feedback form will be sent to your email today, okay? Debbie Payton Newberry, also from this on this subject. From staff, you will receive an email this afternoon to the online survey. It's short and should only take a few minutes. Thanks in advance for your time. Okay. Then Jim, you're going to have to help me out on this one. Betty Silva was asking, could the area directors selected be announced again? I don't have that list with me. Do you?
Sure, it's up
Okay,
here.
please. Okay.
Area 2, Area 2 is Georgiana Light. Area 3 or Area 4 is Terry Gerritz and Mary Kay Henderson. They're co-directors. Area 6 is myself. There it is. Betty, it's up on the screen. Area 8 is Anthony Duarte. Area 10 is Becky Carroll. And Area 12 is Lynn Chan. I hope you got that this time, and we'll spread the word about the new elections.
Okay, I had a request. Could the new president possibly record a message to show at our general Zoom meeting? Janice, just send me an email and tell me when and whatever, and I can accommodate that. Okay. And that's, let's see, I think that's all the questions that we have right now. Yeah.
Let me do one thing. I had this down, believe it or not, I had this down to announce right first, and I didn't do it. Now, this was a new thing for us. And I want to publicly thank my coach, and she coached a lot of us. Her name is Judy Clapp. She's with Limitless. I just want to list these people because all of us speakers at one time or another had interaction with this. There's Kelly, there was Keith, there was Adrian, Carrie, Phil, and the email answer, Travis. He's the guy that you emailed, all that stuff. Want to thank Limitless for what they did and how they helped walk us through this this convention. Thank them publicly, and they did a heck of a job. And Judy, we're gonna have to involve you. You know, I hate to miss out seeing you again. My wife doesn't mind. There she is. She's in. You're not in Colorado. That was Kelly. Where you live?
I'm in Baltimore.
He's in Baltimore. So these guys are all over the United States, and they helped us. So thank you for giving me that opportunity, Ron.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, I think that completes our part of this. We are ahead of schedule. Okay. The next part of our schedule is, hang on just a second. Yes, a big thank you. We are ahead of schedule. Let's see, our guest speaker is scheduled to begin at 10:15. Now, Judy, are we going to just move on this schedule, or are we going to maintain the 10:15 schedule? Susie, you got an idea?
Yes, we're actually going to maintain it because we have
Okay.
our special guest speaker. I will first want to congratulate everyone and to say again, thank you to Jim and to Ron for stepping in at such a trying time. And I'm really excited to work with you. Congratulations. And please, all of you, be sure to join the next session at 10:15 with our special guest speaker, Jack Enos. You will need to close out of this session and go back to the convention sessions. And then after Jack's presentation, be sure you choose one of the members' chat rooms. And again, you'll have to close out of that and join a chat. We will see you soon.
Okay, take a break. Take a break. We'll see you at 10:15.